We can.
On your back, Dina.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the April 28, 2020 meeting. I will open this up with a prayer, and then we'll do a quick pledge, and then we'll jump right into business, if that's okay. If you would, rise. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come before you, Lord. We just pray for your grace on this meeting. Pray for your grace on our city, grace on our county, and grace on our state, Lord. Just show us the divine wisdom in the decisions we make and all things we do to glorify you. In Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Dina, do we have any speakers?
Good morning, Commissioners. No, we do not have any speakers this morning.
Okay. Glenn, would you like to jump right into it?
Sure will. Thank you, Commissioner. Number 1, approve the list of claims.
So moved.
Second.
Number 2, hold a public hearing so any citizen of the county shall be given the opportunity to be heard.
Do we have anyone here to speak for or against any agendas on the items on the agenda? I'm sorry. Okay, Glenn.
Number 3, approve a payment of claims for the home program in conjunction with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
So moved.
Second.
Number 4, authorize amendment to the home agreement and declaration of restrictive covenants with Aubers at Satsuma, LLC for an amount of $1,008,234 of home funds for the development of a 64-unit senior housing in conjunction with Alabama Housing Finance Authority tax credits, and authorize the President, Vice President to execute all documents associated with this project. The development came under budget.
So moved.
Second.
Number 5 and 6 was voted at the conference. Number 7, approved change order number 1 with Tyndall Construction LLC, Sims Senior Center Addition. The change will increase the contract by $16,931 to cover owner requested changes. The new contract total will be $895,603.
So moved.
Second.
8 and 9 were held and voted at the conference. Number 10, approve amending 2015 Capital Improvement Plan, District 3 road projects to reallocate remaining balance District 3 unnamed road projects as follows. $482,488.78 Grand Farms Road West, $636,381.49 roadway improvements to McDonald Road associated with Project Beverly. This amendment creates Project Grant Farms Road West construction and CEI and reallocates $482,488.78 from District 3 unnamed projects, and also reallocates $15,831.49 from District 3 unnamed projects to roadway improvements to McDonald Road associated with Project Beverly.
So moved.
Second.
Number 11, approve amending the 2017 Capital Improvement Plan to add project and estimated costs as follows. $119,426.29 Grand Farms Road West. This amendment creates projects and Grand Farms Road West construction and CEI, and also reallocates $119,426.29 from District 3 unnamed projects to Grand Farm Road West construction and CEI.
So moved.
Second.
Number 12, approve amending 2019 Capital Improvement Plan to add project and estimated costs as follows. $298,085.44 Grand Farms Road West. This amendment creates project Grand Farms Road West construction and CEI, and also decreases District 3 unnamed projects by $298,085.44.
So moved.
Second.
Number 13, approve amending 2019 Capital Improvement Plan to add project estimated costs as follows. $200,000 Ralph Latham Road, This amendment creates Project Ralph Latham Road construction in CEI and also decreases District 3 unnamed projects by $200,000.
So moved.
Second.
Number 14, amending 2015 capital improvement plan as follows. $330,996.13 Sims Senior Center, $830,578.87 Tanner Williams Road, Tanner Williams Park. This amendment increases District 2 project, Sims Senior Center, by $30,996.13 from $300,000 to $330,996.13, and also decreases District 2 projects, Tanner Williams Park, by $30,996.13 from $861,575 to $830,578.87.
So moved.
Second.
Number 15, approved contract with Boy Scouts of America Mobile Area Council in the amount of $5,000 from District 1 funds to purchase technology equipment.
So
Could
moved.
Second, could you add, this is technology equipment to augment their programming during COVID-19? This is why they need it. This is a COVID-19.
To do COVID-19 program? Okay. Number 16, approved contract with Groundwork Mobile County in the amount of $15,000 from District 1 funds for operational expenses.
So moved.
Second,
Number 17, approve agreement with, between County Sheriff's Office and the Town of Mount Vernon to house Town of Mount Vernon's prisoners.
So moved.
second,
Number 18, approve change order number 1 with Ben M. Ratcliffe Contractor, Inc., court access and security improvements for Mobile Government Plaza. The change will decrease the contract by $1,122 to delete unused allowance. The new contract will be $280,649.
So moved.
second,
Do we have any idea when that's going to start? Would have been great if we had that going right now. Okay, thank you.
Number 19, approve rescinding the county commission action in the March 9th, 2020 minutes. Agenda item number 10, approved sponsorship with alumni and friends of Sims School, Inc. in the amount of $500 from District 2 funds for its annual Sims Heritage Day Festival. The event has been canceled due to the coronavirus disease 2019.
So moved.
second,
I think probably, Commissioners, we could take the next two together, same situation.
Hey, Commissioners, the item 18 you asked about, normally when they do that, that is the end of the project, so it's complete and they're just tidying and stuff up. That's normally the wording on those. I don't know if that's the case on this one, but
So this is not the access that we're talking about coming from the stairwell there?
that would be Tyler's area. I'm not real sure, but that's
This-
normal.
That's okay.
The
I
normal
just-
wording there would be,
I just
I think
assumed
it-
that's what it was.
I think it is. It's access,
Yeah,
and that is for security,
I thought it might
too.
be the stairs or something
Yeah.
over there.
well, but it's coming from the stairs going
Right.
to the second floor.
That's just their normal wording is
I
when
think
they're
that
through
was
with the
the
project.
total amount, right in the neighborhood of
Okay.
the amount we paid for that. so.
and I think the work is underway if it's not.
I think it's about completed.
Yeah,
Really?
I haven't walked up the stairs, but they look good.
I have not been over there.
Yeah,
I'm
Commissioners,
afraid
I
to
just text Tyler to see if he could
That's
give
okay.
a response.
I think I just had it answered. It's almost completed, and I didn't even know it started. Go figure.
You don't look up much, huh?
No, I don't.
So did you want to take 20 and 21 together?
I don't have a problem
It-
with that.
Yeah, if you could.
second,
Oh,
You
did I
wanna
make
re-
them, I made, okay, so moved.
'22 through '26 were all voted at the conference. 27, approve a memorandum of understanding with the University of South Alabama Medical Center for the provision of the COVID-19 antibody test and, if indicated, COVID-19 nasal test to certain specific first responders in the amount not to exceed $10,000.
So moved.
second,
Thank y'all for doing that. Got a lot of
20
requests for that.
28, approve a grant application to the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs for continued funding of the Southwest Regional Highway Traffic Safety Office for the Community Traffic Safety Program in the amount of $181,130 for the period of October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021, with a local match of $13,741.
So moved.
Second.
19, approve the grant application in the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs for continued funding of the Southwest Regional Highway Safety Office for the Selective Traffic Enforcement Program in the amount of $506,545 for the period of October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021, with no local match.
So moved.
Second.
Number 30, approve a grant application with Alabama ADECA for continued funding of the Southwest Regional Highway Safety Office for the Hotspot Impaired Driving Enforcement Campaign in the amount of $179,592 for the period of October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021, with no local match.
So moved.
Second.
31, grant application, approve the grant application to ADECA for continued funding of the Southwest Regional Highway Safety Office for Click It or Ticket Law Enforcement Campaign in the amount of $42,229 for the period August 20, 2021 through September 6, 2021, with no local match.
So moved.
Second.
32, approve grant application for ADECA for continued funding of the Southwest Regional Highway Safety Traffic Safety Office for the Drive Sober Law Enforcement Campaign in the amount of $61,176 for the period May 24, 2021 through June 6, 2021, with no local match.
So moved.
Second.
33, approve Second Amendment to the Health Services Agreement renewal between Mobile County, the Sheriffs of Mobile County, and NAFCARE, Inc., commencing August 1st, 2020, and ending July 31st, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Can I make one comment, Commissioner? At the last meeting, on last Thursday, Commissioner Ludgood.
Are you on? Is your speaker on?
There it is now, I'm sorry. At the last meeting, Commissioner Ludgood asked about a bill that was pending in the House that dealt with Medicaid cost, and the bill, if passed, could impact the future medical costs associated with a future contract with NAFCARE. We found House Bill 447 that it's not yet passed, but it's in the session. So bottom line is, if that passes and it endures to the benefit of prisoners, then there could be a reduction in future costs with NAFCARE in the next fiscal year contract.
So the contract reflects that?
No, the contract doesn't reflect that, because the bill is, who knows if it will pass or not. There will be an opportunity to renegotiate the contract next year at this time for August 1st, 2021. And if there's significant savings or any savings, and if the bill passes, NAFCARE says they will look at that.
Can we provide contingent language where if the bill passes and the inmate is covered by Medicaid, then that would be a dollar for dollar offset or whatever kind of language we
I
need to say?
can work on that, and maybe we should hold it over
I would
them
agree.
to do that. The other question that had arisen, what was the average daily population? I just want to give you some numbers. In 2016, the average daily population over the 12 months for 2016 was 1,098 inmates. In 2017, the average daily population for the year was 1,116 inmates. 2018, it increased to 1,445 inmates. And the average daily population for the month for 2018 was 1,445. Daily population for 2019 averaged 1,609 prisoners. There were 1,552 prisoners or inmates in the jail in Metro in January of 2020. Last week, it was somewhere between 1,044 and 1,060. Sheriff's Department at least says that they think that when this situation we're experiencing now passes, that number will go back up closer to 1,500 or 1,600. I don't know how we know that, but that's just what their guess is. So the average daily population has picked up substantially over the last few years, which has caused the increase with the cost of NAVCare. In addition to that, Commissioner Carl asked some questions about the cost of medicine. And they treat all patients, all inmates, if they have no cost or a lot of cost, at the same rate. So we're not paying cost per inmate if inmate A's medical costs are more than B. There is a provision of federal law under 340B that will provide significant savings for hepatitis C and HIV medication. In speaking with Mr. Rossler and earlier last month when Glenn came to a meeting, they want NAVCARE's us to explore working with the Mobile County Health Department to see if they can be the sponsoring governmental entity that can provide those types of drugs at a cheaper price under the oversight of the health department, which could reduce the cost prospectively, but there's no formula in this contract that would specifically identify that. The last question that Commissioner Carl asked was, what area hospitals and what are they charging? The short version is that Spring Hill, they don't go to Providence because it's too far away, is the perception. Spring Hill is not I'm told, is not particularly interested in taking the patients. Their rate is high. USA is expensive, as is Mobile Infirmary. The current Mobile Infirmary charges the county 82% of all bill charges to NAVCARE. They're out of pocket. Spring Hill Hospital will not take patients, but when they did, they wanted 130% of the rate. And USA wants $2,808 per diem per patient plus other costs. So the thought is if sending those prisoners to Mobile Infirmary at this time is the best rate. We will be asked later this summer and fall to reach out to each of these medical providers, maybe with some discussion with the county commission. We might be able to get some better rates. The Sheriff's Department consultant thinks the rates that we're paying are high based on national averages. There could be some room perhaps to negotiate those downward. Commissioner Carl had a conversation with I and Jim Rossler yesterday. Hope I have not mischaracterized anything that we spoke about, Commissioner Carl. And if I did, I apologize.
No, not at all. The drugs we're talking about, the HIV drugs, are roughly, without giving any pricing away, it's about $60 per tablet. To give you some ideas, we're spending about $700,000 just on medications alone. By filing through and getting this code, we can probably take somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20% off our drug cost. But the hospitals are where the real problem's at and where the real cost is coming in here. I know I'm a short timer and I'm going to be out of here, but I would really encourage y'all, and I have not talked to the sheriff, he may have no interest in this, but to build a couple of hospital rooms onto that jail would fix a lot of problems. Now, if you've got somebody in a severe situation, to transfer them, you're going to need to, excuse me, a heart attack situation or something that's very life-threatening. But you get a patient that's really borderline, to be able to keep them there on site will save you $2,000 per day.
Well, I know one of the things that we are paying for, that $15 million, is some changes to the medical unit. And I'm not sure what all is involved, but I guess it was out of 2019. Didn't we allocate $15 million? But I know part of it is something medical.
Okay.
Well,
to be able to keep them there, because everyone we send, obviously, to Providence or to USA, there has to be around-the-clock security there, and it will solve a lot of our problems. Now, the hospitals, I'm not saying they're taking advantage, they're just doing business as normal, but they're charging full price plus. So if you go in there as a Medicare patient, and under Medicare, I'm just going to use round numbers, it's $1,000 per day. Chances are they're only receiving 80% of that, which is $800 per day. There's no limit what they set on the private side. So they could charge $2,500 a day for that same service that they're getting $800 for. On the private side, they can charge $2,500. Again, not saying that's the margins that they have set, but we don't know until we start getting breakdown of those numbers. Of course, I'm going to be out of here in November. And between now and November, I'd like to start pooling those numbers together and give y'all some ideas of what I feel like maybe we can start cutting some of those corners. I think we also need to look at maybe making a contract with South Alabama or with the infirmary or with the hospital. We may even be cheaper to contract a room for a 365-day period. I mean, there's lots of ways we can start trying to skin this cat.
Is there an average population number, percentage, or overall number that are hospitalized from the jail? I mean, I don't know how many prisoners, inmates we're talking about.
I don't know that number. That number has not been discussed, so I don't know. I can find out after this meeting.
Well, I think it's definitely worth exploring. I think part of the cost, what we're paying for, is professional medical services, because I don't know that we have a physician on the premises at the jail. I know we have nurse practitioners and so forth, and so I don't know what the need is for those patients, but I think we could explore and find out. And we definitely need to look to see if there is a less expensive way of approaching it, and all options on the table, so to speak.
Well, I'll check. I know that the sheriff and his staff have asked for increased staffing in this forthcoming year contract to deal with the myriad of medical issues and conditions that they face, and how that will change over the next few months based on the COVID-19, I don't know. But I will try to find out their average number of hospitalized patients for you. I do not have that information. If I may just go back for clarification, I've not been line one with NAVCARE in negotiating the extension for the forthcoming year. I am told that they are good to work with. The Sheriff's Department and our consultant like the job that NAVCARE does. Now, if we push off this agreement for another 2 weeks, I'll try to determine where we stand legislatively about passing this House Bill 447. I don't know, and how they'll be able to gauge quantitatively the impact of that on savings.
That's not what I was proposing.
I just want to be sure I understood. So,
Just contingency language in the event that it should pass. We may not be able to take advantage of that.
If it does pass, then we will agree to come back and address that. Can we?
No, what we're saying, to put in language that allows it to have application during this 1 year.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then, it's just a moot point. But because it's out there, we want to preserve the right
Okay.
to go back in and.
Well, we'll put that in there, and if that becomes problematic with NAVCARE, then we'll come back in 2 weeks and address that.
Well, I would think as long as NAVCARE gets their money, they're not worried about the pay source.
Because they'll still get paid.
Yeah.
It just reduces
Our
Understood.
portion
that
of
big
that.
pot that
Well,
they
we'll-
want us
we'll-
to
But the
preserve.
question is, who's going to bill Medicaid? NAVCARE or us?
Or the
Because just
hospital.
because
or
they
the
approve it
hospital.
doesn't mean they pay it. Medicaid is famous for that. They'll approve it, but they won't pay it. They'll just tell you they're broke. With that said, do we need to start calling our senators, state senators, encouraging them on this HB 447? Because so I understand, they're going to pull a handful of bills, try to get local bills passed, and then they're going to get out of there.
I think it might be worthy of maybe drafting a letter from the commission, resolution format, asking for their support and their help in getting it approved.
Second.
That was easy enough.
Done.
Commissioner Carl, I just received this is Dana. I just received a text from the sheriff's finance director, and she said 27% of the inmates receive some sort of hospital treatment, and of those, 3% of those cases expend $100,000 or more for their treatment.
Under 1,000?
Yes.
Oh, under
Or
100,000?
more, over 100,000 or more. 3% of the inmates that get hospitalized, their costs exceed $100,000.
Wow. Thank you for getting that information.
So that's, I mean, that right there, what's 3% of 14? You know, that right there puts us at close to what, 6.5, 7 million? I'm sorry, 100,000, 700, I got my zero in the wrong place. About 650,000, somewhere around in there. I mean, we've just got to start chipping away at it, start picking it apart instead of just trying to block it together. Is the easiest way. I think it can be done if we want to bring it down. I mean, this contract is for 8 million that we're signing for?
Pretty close.
Am I reading this right?
Yeah, that sounds high.
Annual amount, 8,119,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
8,119,000,
Which has gone up a couple of million.
yes.
right. And,
It was 6.
and I don't think healthcare cost has gone up that much.
The other thing, the Department of Justice has asked the jail to do a classification system, and maybe when that classification system is implemented, it'll bring down the average daily population. Because it may be a determination that we have people there who don't necessarily have to be there.
Yeah. And nurse practitioners have got to work under some type of position. So I think he's over there, or she, physician's over there some period of time here in the week.
Probably so, yeah.
All right, Glenn?
Commissioners, Counselor had recommended that we hold this over. Is that, we're going to hold it over?
I mean, I just want to have the language clear with NAVCare, and I'd rather, I don't know, Natasha obviously is listening. My general conversation with Mr. Rossler, if we don't get it passed today, I don't know the implications if we do or we don't.
But we're not saying hold it over. You're the only one saying hold it over.
Because if this bill passes, we want NAVCare to recognize any savings that they get from the state or the Medicare to pass on back to us.
All we want is for NAVCare to, we want contingent language in there that just says they'll recognize any savings if the bill passes, and
We could approve it contingent on final legal
Yeah.
approval.
all it means is we'll have some inmates who will have insurance.
Mhm.
That's all it means.
We'll work on that. Got it. In fact, if there's a problem with that, I'll let y'all know.
Would, if this is time-sensitive, Commissioners, would you want to see the final document, or do you think we should approve it pending final legal approval? What,
You talking, I'm nervous because we already passed our notification window on this renewal. And I was just concerned about pushing it.
yeah,
In July.
I'll work with NAVCare and Attorney Rossler today to get the language added. If it becomes problematic on NAVCare's side, then we'll I'll come back to you and bring it at the next meeting. We'll come up with a solution.
okay.
One more thing, Commissioners. I just received a text from Natasha, and the new contract, the amendment is $2.7 million over the original.
But we've been paying extra dollars based on the prior average daily population, which makes our net not quite that much higher.
Right, if you divide it out with the increase in population, it really comes out to about where it was, actually.
That's sort of correct.
Sort of correct.
Well, I mean, correct.
In the same ballpark.
Same I think the overall cost this year will be
But it's
higher than
still a
last
lot.
year.
It's a
Nevertheless.
chunk of change.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot.
That's,
If we can get that number down, I think
That's a
that
lot
would
of
be
health
good.
care.
yeah.
And while we're at it, not to digress from Mr. Hodge, but the last item on the add-on is an amendment that was asked to suspend any fluctuation in the average daily population to the end of this contract based on the COVID-19. That just happens to be item number 4 on the add-on, which reads the third amendment to the healthcare services agreement between Mobile County, the sheriff, and NAVCare, to make no adjustments on the per diem to the end of this contract.
I'm not hearing you very well.
I need to speak closer into the microphone. I apologize. While we're on the sheriff's department subject, add-on agenda item number 4 is a third amended agreement that has been asked of this commission to sign, which would suspend any adjustments in the average daily population between now and July 31st of 2020.
Isn't the population declining?
It is,
So basically, they're saying keep paying us even though the population
but if it
is
goes
less.
back up before the end of the contract, they would not be entitled to any upward adjustment over the 1,500 number. We can wait on that and get more
Do we
information.
have any idea why it jumped up so high the last 3 years? I mean, is there a reason?
Population, and they increased their employees.
No, he's talking
No, I
about
was
why
talking
the
about
average jail
the
population.
Jail population.
Average
jail,
daily
sorry.
population increase.
It's more complicated. There is an active campaign to keep everybody who's accused of something in jail.
That's
I
true.
mean, there is a full court press against bail right now going on the other side.
Well, at one point, inmates, at least municipal ones, could bond themselves out. I don't think they can do that anymore, so that's kind of changed.
Which may be
population.
pushing it back up. I'm
Yeah.
sure Commissioner Ludgood's right. It's a complicated answer that I don't know that I have all the information to tell you why it's going, but it's clearly going back up from what it was a few years ago. So Jim Rossler tells me on amendment number 3, it will have this proposed amendment that they're asking us to consider would have no financial negative impact on the county. Clearly, if the average daily population stays down, then we may be paying more. If it goes back up, we won't be paying more either, at least to the-
What is the purpose, really, that they want this amendment? Why?
This is what he says. In recognition of the fact that the parties continue to partner in the provision of providing health care services to the inmates at the Mobile County Metro Jail during these unprecedented public health emergencies, that's what I'm told. But we can hold that off, and I can get some more detailed
Would you?
information.
I
Sure.
don't quite understand why we would do that.
Yeah, I'm a little confused too. Is that, I mean, are they implying that they're sending everybody that comes down with this COVID-19 to the hospital? I mean, is that what they're implying there?
I don't think that's what they're implying, but I don't know for sure. I know they've got a lot of patients over there, and they're trying to treat everybody they can in-house.
Well, we want them to have fair treatment too, but at the same time, can't just write blank checks.
Well, this, again, I understand, this would not cost us any, but maybe if there were savings, we wouldn't realize them
It
either.
may not cost more, but if the population is down, then there could be a savings realized.
That is correct.
Okay.
Well, why don't we, is Natasha texting you on that, Dana?
Yes, she just texted me and said that the per diem for inmates over 1,500 is $248 per day. And she says they would have to pay us under, says ADP 1,500. Average daily population, I guess, that's what that means. They would have to pay us if Average daily population is under 1,500.
Well, maybe we should get more clarification so we're all better informed before the commission makes a decision as to item number 4, third amendment to the healthcare services contract.
That would be appreciated.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Okay. Glenn?
Number 34, recommend approving annual work order to create and install signs for volunteer fire departments. The cost will be charged to GFP 087.
So moved.
Second.
35, recommend awarding bid for project Albert Evans Road South Grain Drain and Basin Pave LLC for their low bid in the amount of $474,995.77.
So moved.
Second.
36, recommend adopting resolution consenting to the annexation of a portion of the following public street, Denmark Road, bounded by territories annexed by the city of Sims, Alabama, pursuant to the city ordinance number 2018-98.
So moved.
Second.
37, recommend awarding bid for project Pritchard Streets, Bill Case Road, and High Point Boulevard resurfacing to Mobile Asphalt Company for the low bid in the amount of $463,526.28.
So moved.
Second.
38, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for project 3 Notch Corona Road resurfacing, restoration, and rehabilitation.
So moved.
Second.
39, recommend approving relocation agreement with South Alabama Utilities for the relocation of water lines, facilities, and a conflict with proposed roadway improvements on project Tanner Williams Road, additional lanes. There is no cost to Mobile County.
So moved.
Second.
40, recommend approving, furnishing, and delivering 2 loads of topsoil and 4 loads of wash sand for Freeman Park for Criollo, and 2 loads of topsoil and 2 loads of wash sand to Lott Middle School. The total estimated cost for all deliveries is $4,450.24.
So moved.
Second.
41, recommend approving preliminary and final plat of re-subdivision of portion of Lot 13 and Lot 14 through 15 Freeland Second Edition, and approving preliminary and final plat of Wilson Estates.
So moved.
Second.
42, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 1 with John G. Walton Construction Company, project Mark Chris Circle East and Mark Chris Circle West, and St. Nicholas Drive East and St. Nicholas Drive North and St. Nicholas Drive West to decrease the contract by $288.46 for modification of roadway pipe and treatment item.
So moved.
Second.
Number 43, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 2 with John G. Walton Construction Company, project Randolph Foster Road to increase contract by $15,300 for added commercial foundation backfill pay items for purpose of expediting the construction project and minimize the impact to local traffic.
So moved.
Second.
Number 44, recommend authorizing applying for federal assistance for Jeremiah A. Denton Airport. The estimated federal funds through CARES Act are $20,000, and estimated cost to Mobile County is $0.
So moved.
Second.
Excuse me. 45, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for project Westlake Road North, Grain Drain Basin Pave.
So moved.
Second.
And in 46, there was a change. There was actually a storm event, so it would be April 19th and April 23rd, 2020 storm event.
So moved.
Second.
47, recommend authorizing acquisition of property and acceptance of right-of-way deed from the following property owner for the following project.
So moved.
Second.
48, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 3 with John G. Walton Construction Company, Inc. for project Mobile Soccer Complex Phase 1 for the addition of fencing, paved items, thereby increasing the contract in the estimated amount of $68,775.
So moved.
Second.
And we have add-ons, Commissioners. First add-on is authorize CDP-131-20 contract with Mobile County Health Department in the amount of up to $10,000 to defray the cost of PCR tests for COVID-19 for indigent patients.
So moved.
Second.
Add-on number 2, approved purchase of aluminum portable club soccer goals, aluminum folding soccer goals with nets, soccer goals wheel kits, and official corner flag sets from Gopher under Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract in the amount of $45,906.93 for Mobile County Soccer Complex Phase 1.
So moved.
Second.
Add-on number 3, approve amendment of agenda item number 26, voted on at the conference on April 23rd, 2020, to read as follows. Approve the allocation of up to it should be $10,000 for payment of the cost of providing COVID-19 antibody tests and, if indicated, COVID-19 nasal tests for first responders employed by municipal police and fire departments in the Mobile County, not to include employees of the City of Mobile or Mobile County Sheriff's Department for whom provision for testing has otherwise been made.
What was the amendment, the specific change?
Excluding the City of Mobile
Oh,
and the
okay.
Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Second.
And one more add-on, recommend authorizing advertisement for bids for project CCP-151-15C, replace runway 12/30 MIRL and construct new electrical vault at Jeremiah A. Denton Airport. MIRL equals medium intensity runway lights.
So moved.
Second.
And 49, commission announcements and/or comments.
Ladies,
I have nothing.
Sarah?
I guess we'll just wait on what the governor says at 11.
Yeah, I just got a notice here that Baldwin County Commission shared plans for reopening county facilities and recovering planning for citizens. So they may know something we don't know about what's going to happen at 11 o'clock, what I'm getting at.
And I guess at some point here, we need to take, our parks are still closed, and I don't know what other facilities that we have that we've closed for the time being, but we may be needing to look at those to reopen.
And I think it's very important we get those parks open, get people back to as normal as possibly we can, especially with the baseball season going on. I don't know how we do that in a safe way.
Well, you know, at this point in time, people have to take personal responsibility. And I think people have, over the last month, have come to realize the importance of doing that. And if you notice, people, when you're out and about, they'll create that distance. You know, they may or may not be wearing a mask, but they will create a distance. And part of that is, I mean, there's self-preservation. People want to be healthy. So I think at this point in time, we're going to have to rely a lot on personal responsibility.
Okay, and opening those parks and making those decisions, do they have to be done in an open meeting, or is that something we can kind of do behind the scenes?
Well, they're closed really because of the governor. Once the governor says whatever is going to go, then basically we'll fall in line.
Okay.
And maybe we need to go ahead and take action in that respect, that the opening of all county facilities and parks is contingent on the state's reopening, giving the order to lifting the stay-at-home order and reopening state parks and facilities. Put it in line with that.
Can we wait until after we get that and then maybe have even a special meeting?
Sure.
Where we just, because we may want to look at some other
Right,
stuff.
because we don't know exactly what all is going to happen. And
My
we may,
biggest fear is she's going to carry it over a couple of weeks, and it's
although actually, I guess the state mandate would supersede anything that the city or the county would do, I'm assuming. So,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't really matter. We pretty much are required to follow the state mandate.
Well, let's plan on calling a special meeting if need be on that.
Okay.
If we need.
Yeah.
if we-
That's
And
fine.
Commissioners, just for your information, we are implementing an assessment for all operations so that we can determine if we can do something that's more safe for the environment and for our employees, and I'll get you a copy of that this afternoon.
But I agree, there are several matters we may need to take up in a special call meeting, so.
Okay, and what do we need, Jay, on that 24-hour notice? Okay. We're not planning one, just roundabout, all right? I have some retirees as of May 1st, 2020. Constant Ames, building maintenance, 13 years. Roy Curtis, court police, 18 years. Leonard Hines, road and bridge, Camp 98, 11 years. I think this is Dwayne Morris, road and bridge, Camp 98, 10 years. And Patricia Telefillo, is that the way we figured it out, Glenn? Telefillo?
Yeah, you can put it on.
Yeah,
there,
Revenue
Commissioner.
Commission, 23 years. We made our best shot at it. We wish these folks the best in their retirement. We certainly appreciate their service to the county.
Amen.
Anything else? Glenn?
Number 50, approve request for motion to adjourn until May 11th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
We will see you May the 11th, and thank you
No.
so much.
No, we have indigent.
Yeah, I'll look for that. I couldn't find it in my book.
It's on the other side. Open up the white book. Oh, it used to be, it was,
I'm
But let's
missing some of
go-
my stuff too.
Yeah, I've got so much paperwork up here, and it doesn't seem to be what I need. I know it's my fault, so go ahead, Glenn. Let me call to order the meeting for the, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. For the Mobile County Indigent Care Board meeting, April 28, 2020.
Number 1, approve the minutes of the meeting of the March 23rd, 2020.
So moved.
second.
Number 2, accept the report from Mobile County Commission of the balance in the indigent fund at March 31st, 2020. Funds available, $193,349.32.
So moved.
Second.
Number 3, approve the disbursement of indigent care fund cash receipts on April 2nd, 2020 for the period January 2020 through March 2020 to the following entities in the following amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Number 4, approve a request for motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you so much. And yes, I did find it, very bottom of the stack.